The teaching profession is seen as one of the most noble professions. Many are those who have served in various capacities under the Ghana Education Service and have impacted massively in most people. Doctors, teachers, nurses, and a host of professionals have come out of teachers. So, it is so popular to say, if you can read this, then say thank you to a teacher. The case of Mr. John William Glah, a former head teacher of the Anglican Basic School at Nungwa, is not different from all other teachers who go on retirement. But the question is, what preparations do these teachers make before moving on to retirement? If you plan well for your retirement, you live long. If you don't plan well for your retirement, you live a very short life. But this is the life of Mr. John William Glah, a former teacher of the Anglican Basic School, Nungwa. Good afternoon, Mr. Glah. Mr. Glah, do you remember the age at which you started teaching? Do you remember the year you started teaching? You don't? Okay, but do you remember your first school, the first place you ever taught? Okay. I don't remember the number of years you taught before you went on retirement. 55. Okay, so Mr. Glah actually taught for 55 years before moving on retirement. And do you remember any of the schools, any of the towns you taught in? Many. Okay, the last place. It is obvious that Mr. Glah is finding it very difficult to communicate with us because of age and because of ill health. But at least he remembers that he taught finally at Nungwa before moving on to retirement. Do you know his date of birth and how old he is now?
Yes, he's 79 years now, and his date of birth is 28 December 1930.
So how many children does Mr. Glah have?
4 children.
4 children. All of you are alive?
Yes, please, we are alive.
Okay, so what do you remember when you were giving birth to? Did you come to meet your daddy already teaching, or he was with you before he became a teacher? How has his life been like? What are the fond memories? And after retirement, how has it been like? Tell us everything you know about Mr. Glah.
Before we grew up, our dad was a teacher in active service before he came to retirement. Then 6 years ago, he break down with stroke, as you can see him now. So for now, life has been very difficult for him. And the family and the children, we have been supporting to him. It has been very, very difficult.
It's not made properties, it's not built houses.
No, not at all.
Was he able to take care of all of you through school?
Yes, please.
So he invested in your education?
Yes, please. And the family members.
Would you say Mr. Glah planned well for his retirement, or he didn't plan for his retirement?
He planned well. He planned well for retirement. Yeah.
So now the monthly salary or allowance, the pension pay that comes, is it enough to take care of Mr. Glah?
No, it's not enough to take care of him.
Can you quote the amount?
Yes, for now he has been taking 600-700 per month. Yeah, I think 600-700 per month.
But then I guess medication will take all.
Yes, please, medication will take all. Because for now he has been seeing a urologist. He had a prostate enlargement before the stroke. Yes. So as for his medication, even the money is not taken to his medication.
I guess you've seen this inscription before. If you can read this, then say thank you to the teacher. So I'm sure Mr. Glah has really impacted into the lives of a lot of people. Do we have past students of Mr. Glah visiting frequently?
Yes. About 3 months ago, they started visiting. Yeah, they started visiting.
Presenting these gifts on behalf of all the year groups that has gone through the tutorial or the tuition or the learning experience of Master John William Glah. And by these gifts, we want to say thank you to him for all that he did for us, for all that he impacted into our lives, and for helping to shape us into what we are today. For some of us, we are nurses, not just nurses, specialized nurses. We are chemical engineers, we are mechanical engineers, we are clinicians, we are reverends, doctors. We have various professional categories, all came out of your hands, Master John William Glah. Everybody from the Great St. Peter Anglican School and from the various families whose lives your father impacted upon. We have these presentations. We want to say thank you. The whole of the Anglican Church appreciates him. We want to say very big thank you. This thank you is through you to your father, who is seated right there with us. We want to say a very big thank you. We are so grateful. May God keep him until his final and last journey. We are so grateful. Thank you very much.
He was a headmaster, and I'm an office girl. Office girl to Master Glah. So before you enter the office, Mr. Glah will ring the bell. So immediately the bell was rang, then you know that he wants to send you. So you have to go quickly. So I could remember the last time I was in class. So when the bell rang, I was sitting down, and later I went there. Then he said, "Vida Oyote." When I rang the bell, did you hear? And I said yes. So what were you sitting down doing over there? There, I'm afraid that the man will cane me, so I started begging earlier. Before, if anything will happen, then I know what to do. So very lucky for me, he permits me that day to go school free.
Oh, which year did you leave Anglican Basic School at Tunumba?
Yeah, I left there in the year 1990.
And by then Mr. Glah was a teacher or a headmaster?
Yeah, by then he was the headmaster of the school.
What are some of the fond memories?
Let me first of all say that Mr. Glah is a legend. A legend in the sense that a man who, of course, is still discipline and integrity in the life of his students. He doesn't joke with time. He's always punctual, regular at school, making sure that all students are punctual. I quite remembered vividly that by then I was coming from Osu to St. Peter's, and he used me as one of the students who always attend to school very early. On that note, he stood up boldly to say that he will appoint me as one of the house leaders, which of course it came to pass that I was the Leme house captain during his tenure of office. And again, he doesn't joke with discipline in the sense that even in learning, he wants to see you behind book. He wants to make sure that you pass your exams and pass well, because for him, he wants good results in whatever he does.
And so how is one supposed to prepare for his retirement? So during retirement, he continues to be in good health, continues to enjoy life, and will not be a burden on the family, friends, and the children. TV Africa News spoke to Kingsley Hayford, who is a financial analyst. He schooled us on what government workers especially and the general public have to do whilst in active service, so during their retirement they continue to enjoy life in good health.
The pension sector currently is quite exciting, because if you look back, there was some restructure of the pension sector to see to the fact that the thinking was that Senate was not managing things well, or the sort of returns people are getting is not going well. So I think there was some issue of a whole overhaul, a restructuring of the pension sector, and that led to the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 schemes, which is the best. I mean, if you look at this structure, Senate is managing tier 1, which will give you the regular monthly payment post-retirement, meaning that if you go on retirement at 60, you'll be getting some monthly income. For example, it can be 100 Ghana cedis or 200 or 5,000 or 10,000, depending on your basic pay, how much you contributed. Now, if you come to tier 2, the tier 2 is given to the private pension schemes, which is also licensed and regulated, which is also going to give you the bulk sum on retirement, meaning that on retirement at 60, you'll be given the lump sum. So once you get a lump sum, you can decide on what to do with it, whether to build a house, to start something, whatever purpose you have, you can pursue. There's the third one, which is voluntary, meaning that there could be a further one that companies can create, where they can do further investment or pension for you. For example, a company can say that I will do further 2% or 3% of your basic into another fund, and you also do 1%, making 3% for you as a voluntary scheme. Some companies are doing it, and that's why sometimes they used to call the provident fund. It's the same thing, it can be done. If these three things are going, then for me the future of pensioners is not bad. But the fundamental problem is, what is the salary level? Because it's about percentages. We are talking about 18.5%, 13% from the employer, 5.5% for the employee. If you put those two figures, 18.5, depending on your basic, if your basic is 100 Ghana cedis, we are talking about 18 cedis, 50 pesos. That is, we invested for 30 years, and you can imagine the result that will come out. If your basic is 1,000, it will come to about 185 Ghana cedis. And if you do 185 for 30 years, that's why I was giving you about 66,650. If you double it by the interest, about 140,000. So it means that if your pension is managed well, you can hit about 150,000 on retirement. They can decide to give you about a percent, maybe 40% as a lump sum, and 60% will be for your investment for regular income. So the issue has to do with what basic salary are you getting your 18.5 pension on. If the understanding is there that the 18.5 on your basic is not much, then it calls for a personal pension plan. This is why people are not getting it right. That's why we are discussing the subject of retirement. Because if you are earning 500 a month as basic salary, and you can determine how much is paid to SNIT, multiply by 30 years times 12, you will know how much you are going to get. It is not magic. And that should tell you that if you go on retirement and things go as planned as you have done, your package will not be much. It's obvious. Then it means that you have to start personal savings and investment. And so you have to start building your own pension plan and decide that on a monthly basis you are going to put 100 Ghana cedis, 200 Ghana cedis, 300 Ghana cedis down towards your pension retirement. And on the back of that, you'll be able to build your own pension plan to be able to tackle the issue of what? Post-retirement challenges. Let me put it this way. You need to estimate what you call your post-retirement expenses. There is a medical aspect of it. Sometimes I told you that you get sick more because old age is there. Your housing, if you have not built a house, you must project your rent. If you want to build a house, you have to plan how to build. You have to travel, your hobby is there. All these things should tell you the kind of expenditure that you are going to make. If you know this thing, then it should tell you that if you continue with your 1,000 Ghana cedis a month, and when you go on retirement you don't get 1,000 Ghana cedis a month, it means that your standard of living will be reduced. You cannot maintain the same standard of living. So personal retirement pension plan is very important. And so over dependence on SNIT will not be enough, except when your pension, your monthly income is very high. Again, let me also put on record is that everybody must do pension. There's a personal pension plan. You don't need to work for the company before you pay your pension. You can work to SNIT and do your monthly payment. And so you don't need a company. So those of you who are working with companies that are not paying, if you care about your pension, please decide how much you want to pay. Go to SNIT, go to the pension companies and start your pension plan. And that is all you need to do going forward. And that is the only way to secure your post-retirement standard of living and a good life, and to make sure you are happy on retirement, and then you have a better life to live post-retirement. And that is the only way to go, not necessarily the main scheme. They are there to support, but you need a pension plan. And I believe that the people of Ghana should take this issue serious, and as we go along in 2019, people should take their pensions serious. You can walk to my firm, talk to us, Street Finance. We are always available, and you can talk to us and get your financial planning and advice well done, and then you should be able to pick it from there. And that is the most important aspect on pension, and that's all that you need.
Sadly, Master Glah passed on 4th January 2019.
The Reporter, an in-depth news report from The Reporter.